Welcome to Staring at the Lights with Rob and Tom. No Ethan this week. He's not very well, bless him.
Nah, poorly boy. Poorly boy.
We were just saying we've not. It's the first one he's missed, isn't it?
Yeah, man. You're keeping the streak alive.
I know. I don't know what we'll do if ever I'm not here, but I'm sure we'll figure out a way of doing it.
We'll
have to
delete
just
the Twitter,
delete
the
phone
Instagram
call thing or something, and I don't know. We'll figure a way of doing it.
Yeah, work.
So this week we've had Money in the Bank, which was on Sunday.
Good show.
One of my favourite pay-per-views that WWE do. It's definitely up there as that sort of second tier one. It's not quite there where the big four is for me, but it's that and Elimination Chamber are probably my two favourite sort of.
Yeah, it's
second tier ones.
We've spoke about you get these pay-per-views that are based around a singular gimmick match, but the good thing about Money in the Bank is, it's not just like the other ones tend to be like a blow-off of a feud, whereas this is kind of like the start of things to come. It's a bit like the Rumble. The winner then jumps onto something else, so it's going to continue in the main storyline down the line. Yeah,
it doesn't end anything, does it? It's the start. It's like you say, it's the start of something.
Yeah, totally.
It's close to being one of my favourites of over the top four.
I'd say in the modern era, yeah. I'd say like
Rumble is definitely the top one for me, and then interchanging Mania and Survivor Series interchange, because Survivor Series, when done right, can be really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then SummerSlam is normally
I said, like, I always had a soft spot for SummerSlam with being actually off to watch it, like school holidays and stuff, but like nowadays I see Survivor Series and I just think it's just so redundant. Like, it'd be nice to see them do it as like a Deadly Games type thing. I know they've only done that once, but if they turn Survivor Series instead of like 6-on-6 or whatever it is, just do a tournament or something, like, and the survivor wins something.
It'd be cool if they had like a tag team Survivor as well. Like they do a women's one and a men's one. If they did like a tag team Survivor Series, I think
that's
it'd be pretty
cool. And the last one that I really remember, off topic, with somehow going into Survivor Series, but do you remember the one where it was like Team Austin versus Team Bischoff? That were really good. And it was like, if Austin loses, he has to leave a WWE, and he had like an all-star squad. And it was just like, it were really good, that. Go watch that again. Oh, wicked.
When it's done right, it's great.
Absolutely.
But this Sunday was Money in the Bank. I suppose the main sort of standouts was the women's ladder match and the men's ladder match, with the two obviously that's going to be not necessarily headlining the show, because the women's one goes first. It's always a bit of a shame with that, because that when that's on earlier, it's right. So there's probably going to be a cash-in later on now. It's
because we were saying about that, how like if you are looking at it from booking it as a sport, and you were trying to be like, if you as the booker are trying to be like, oh, well, I'm a real commissioner and I'm really in charge, surely logic would say we will have Money in the Bank as the last two matches, with maybe one match in between as a buffer that has nothing to do with the title, just so there's no shenanigans prior to that, so the world title matches can continue uninterrupted. I think that's kind of something that New Japan or AEW would do, because they tend to think more like a sport. But WWE just don't care about that shit.
It loses that threat, and we'll get onto it in a minute, but sort of same night cash-ins we've seen before, like Alexa Bliss did it last year, and it loses that threat of what Money in the Bank should be.
Like you think about New Japan, and you'll have someone will carry the briefcase around. I know they stole the idea directly from WWE, but they'll carry the briefcase around for months, and it'll they'll morph it to their character, and it'll become something where you're like, it doesn't matter who's the champion, at any time they could be usurped by someone, because to win their Money in the Bank, you have to be top tier. It's not just like, oh, we'll stick you in Money in the Bank. It's like the person who wins the Money in the Bank is genuinely like a top tier threat. And I think a lot of the time with WWE, they just kind of do it for the sake of doing it. But hopefully this time, well, one of them's already blown off, but hopefully the other one we'll see stick around for a little while.
It might have a bit more of a threat to it. So like the women's one was good. It was a good match. They always are. Last year's was really good. I know the whole the one before it, obviously the first one, the whole James Ellsworth thing, and they don't even reference that anymore on the network now, or anything to do with WWE.
Well,
I don't think it's because of what he was accused of later after he'd left WWE.
Yeah, I mean, when Carmella came out, they mentioned she's won it twice, hasn't she?
Well, she kind of won it the first time, and then when they did it later, the next few days on SmackDown, she won it again. And
it's like, you forget about that. You forget like she's, cause, I mean, she was a really serviceable champion, and she was great in that role. But I suppose it just gets washed over by the whole Rousey, Becky Lynch, Charlotte thing that's been going on.
I remember
forget about the other champions.
When she did cash in eventually, I think it was like 280 days or something. When she did cash in on Charlotte Flair and won. The next sort of night, I think it was actually a SmackDown show in London. It was at the O2, I think. It might even been Manchester, where she's supposed to be heel champion, and she's doing this whole thing about I'm the queen, I'm money and all this kind of thing, and all the crowd was chanting "You deserve it," and she was almost taken aback by how much support she got by them, and it was and she almost wanted to sort of be like, she was like cutting them off and throwing these like heel sort of lines out that like didn't really fit the moment.
Don't land of her,
because she's almost like trying to be like, no, I'm a heel. You're supposed to boo me. I'm a heel.
It's tough in this modern age when people get what the business is, because like, if you get someone who's like Carmella, I mean, Carmella's genuinely really likable. Like, she's hard to not like.
Yeah.
And I mean, she was fairly new to it. Like when she was the champion, she was thrown in fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a tough spot for her to be in, because if the crowd are sick of seeing Charlotte with the title or Sasha with the title at that time, it's like, give us someone new, like Carmella's a breath of fresh air. And putting her in that position, it's shit on her, man. It's shit on her.
It is. But she did well with it. She did as well as she could have done with it. She was never going to be like a threat, especially when they were building Asuka to be as huge as she were. She was never going to be
totally
holding it for long. But
nah, not at all. I mean, I'd have been perfectly happy with her walking away with it. But yeah, like you mentioned Asuka there, it's one of those things, like, I noticed she's conveniently not in and around the title picture now. She's kind of like the female Braun.
Well, she's doing this tag team thing, isn't she?
Yeah, it's still, you just think, like, if you're good enough, like, even if you're in a tag team, like, you'd still be like, put my name in there.
Yeah,
like,
you would.
Still, but I guess you've got to keep her clear, because she's just so much better than all the rest of them. But
this match, there were some great spots in this match.
Yeah.
Like Nikki Cross was really good. She got a huge pop when she came out. She was over as you can get, really.
She's really landed on her feet with this whole Alexa Bliss thing, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because, like, not only did they give her that pivotal character change, but they've also gone, like, fill her boots, because she's not really doing anything at the minute. So she was going into it the one who I wanted to see win it. Like, we did me and Ethan did like a little tally of who we thought were going to win it. But Nikki was the one I wanted to win it, even though I'm like, she's been putting it at the last minute.
I don't think she would. Yeah, I wanted Dana Brooke to win.
Yeah, that'd have been nice. Yeah, we did talk about that, didn't we? Yeah,
and she did really well, actually. She did some great spots in it. Naomi did as well. The whole like doing the splits as they tried to cushion with the ladder. I thought it was quite good. We were just talking before we started recording about the little spot with Mandy and Carmella where Mandy kicks the ladder that hits Carmella's knee, and then there was like a genuine like no sell, and it's pushed away. You can hear a shout, "Get away!"
Yeah, it's a tough moment that, like, from an outside perspective, I don't mind. Like, I'm happy to watch that because it looks legit, but it doesn't look good on Mandy because she's like stopping, and it's like you kind of think, well, come on, the show must go on. But then it also with Carmella, it's kind of like, I get it, she's made a mistake, but you got to keep your head cool in that situation, because you don't want to keep pushing her off so she can't do a move. You want to let her clean you out so you can roll out the ring and get sorted out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's perfect to build off of. I mean, they've had a match on SmackDown, which
later on in that match, because obviously she gets taken out back through to the back, and then when the crowd see her coming back down the ramp, she got a huge pop from the crowd. They were really into her.
Yeah, she's wicked. I mean, she's not the best worker in the world, but I mean, in a division like and you don't want to be a dick, but a division that is that thin, she's definitely not near the bottom. She's definitely up at the top, and her character works like spot on. Yeah, like she's awesome. Yeah, so good on her.
Yeah, it was a good match. So Bayley takes the win.
Well deserved, really. Yeah, I mean, I know that we were talking about the reasons why they've put the win on her, which it's kind of bullshit, really. It's trying to bait Sasha back in, but I mean, is that really doing any justice to Bayley as a performer? Because she is generally really good. I mean, her time in NXT proves how over she can be. But I mean, at the end of the day, a title win's a title win, and especially to have like the, what we'll come on to in a bit about the progression of her story over this pay-per-view. I mean, you'll look back on this in say like 5-6 years' time, and the one thing you'll pull out, other than the men's ladder match and the screwy finish to that, will be, well, Bayley told him in story.
Yeah, definitely did. So she takes the win. The next match, I think, was Becky Lynch against Lacey Evans, which was a fairly serviceable match. It did all right. I don't think we thought Becky would lose against Lacey Evans if she was going to lose against any of them. No,
I don't think any of us voted that way, really.
No, I don't think we did. No. There was a bit of a kind of a bit of a clumsy sort of spot before she gets her in the disarmer, where she was clearly had her shoulders down for maybe even a 4 count. I think it was even referenced in commentary as well. Yeah, she had her shoulders down for such a long time. The ref decided to kind of go around to the other side to start the pin, so it didn't
didn't look
so obvious
because
she was struggling to get her arm locked so she could spin her out into that. What I did like though is how when she beat her and she's getting out of the ring, Charlotte came straight back in.
Yeah.
And as she's walking to the ring, you can just see Charlotte going, "Get back in the ring, get back in, come on, we're going now." I
cool.
thought that was a really good little spot. And their match, it wasn't anything like the last woman standing Evolution match that they had, but it was still really good. And obviously interference from Lacey Evans coming back and hitting her with the woman's right.
Love that. I know a lot of people rate that as their most hated finisher, but I just think she delivers it so well.
Yeah,
it's almost on par with like Marty Scurll's finger snap. The way she just gets that like click and she like throws it so well. And I just think like, you know what? Sometimes you just need something as simple as just a knockout punch.
Yeah,
it's like the clothesline from hell. It's just, to me, it's quite satisfying to see. Like, just chin him. Yeah, you know what I mean? Just chin him.
Why not?
Like, it's not a bad idea.
You don't have to tie him up in knots or anything, or flip him around. You could just
nothing fancy. No one else in the women's division is doing anything like it.
No,
like they're all. To be fair, you look at the women's division: bank statement, disarmer, figure eight. There's a lot of Ronda Rousey with the armbar.
Yeah,
I mean Bayley's got the Bayley to belly, but I mean that is a terrible finisher. But having a knockout from a woman is pretty cool. It's wicked. Yeah. Like, I mean, none of the rest of them are doing
Bayley's finish is just because it's a pun on her name. That's why that works.
Such a bad idea, isn't it? It's such. I mean, like she could do so much more for a finisher, but I guess it's canon now, so they'll keep with that for a while.
After the match with Charlotte, then Lacey Evans comes back down. Obviously, she's interfered. They have a bit of an ongoing sort of shenanigans bit with Becky where they're hitting her in the corner. Then Bayley comes down to a massive pop because the crowd are anticipating a cash in anyway. The crowd went really wild for her when she came down. Then they sort of quietened down when she just left the briefcase to the side and started.
They thought she's going to do the babyface thing and just help Becky.
Help Becky out. And then it wasn't until she just. I don't think all she had to do was just go over and just look at the briefcase, and everyone just went mad again.
Yeah.
And then cashed it in.
Great little nuanced move, because it's like you think about what a lot of people would have probably thought is that, like we say, she'd have gone in and she'd have done like, oh no, it's not right, it's not by my character, I'm gonna win it fair and square, which is just like, you could be the biggest babyface in the world, don't do that shit. You're in a sport, you need to pay your bills. But the fact she's done that and then work the crowd for herself, like I mean, it was probably planned, and they probably planned it in advance, but I mean, the fact that she can turn the crowd like that, like huge volume, they dip a little bit and she can just bring them back up with just a slight thing, speaks volumes about her.
Definitely does. It was funny because I remember going back to Carmella, when Carmella cashed in against Charlotte.
Yeah,
she gave, because it was Kyoto both times actually. She gave Kyoto the briefcase, and he's going, "What, are you sure?" And she's shouting, "Cash it in, cash it in." And he's like, "What do you want me to do?" She's shouting, "Cash it in."
Yeah.
And this time round, I think it might have been Greg Hamilton has already announced Bayley's cashing in as Mike Kyoto's going, she's going to cash in and pointing at the thing.
It makes sense, because it's like, if she's coming in and go cash in, who's the referee to double check for you? It's like, just let her do it.
You shouldn't be
your
going,
job.
Yeah, you shouldn't be going, are you sure?
Are you sure about this?
You want to?
Might not be a good idea, this.
No,
it's like,
you should just be like,
mate,
oh, sure, if you mess it up, that's on you. That's
I don't care. I'm like, I don't get paid enough to care.
What I have seen on Twitter afterwards, because obviously Bayley pulled Charlotte into the middle of the ring because she was still not on her feet, and then delivered quite a good elbow drop, actually. Cool,
it was a nice elbow drop, that.
Nice little heart bite to Macho Man, which she's a big fan of anyway.
Yeah.
But
it's a better finisher for her.
It is,
Much better finisher for her.
And then her whole sort of celebrating in the crowd and everything, visually all looked really good.
Great. Yeah.
What I've liked on Twitter recently is, or the last day or two, was Charlotte. Someone had tweeted saying Charlotte clearly wasn't on her feet ready.
Yeah.
She was still laid out, and you just started the match, and then this whole #NotFairOnFlair thing has started.
Brilliant.
So that's probably something they may build to a little bit with Charlotte, because obviously she's now 9 times champion.
9 times, it still counted. Shortest reign, but still counts.
One of the things I've read is they're pushing her. They're trying to fast track her to get to 17 title wins.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was so high on Cena beating Flair's record, but it's just not something Cena needs, or it's even relevant. No. And also the other thing is, like, I know WWE are obsessed with records, but the fact they've got to remember is that Flair's 16 in WWE terms is something like, is he 21 in actual world title reigns or something?
Yeah.
Like, far and away above every other professional wrestler in history. Like,
they
far
weren't
and
just
away.
sort of quick 2-day wins, or they weren't like win it on a pay-per-view, drop it the night after.
They were legitimate world titles as well, defended in different companies around the world, night after night.
Yeah,
and it's a different thing, and I think that'll only really land with the next generation, or possibly like some back end of this generation. Like everybody else who knows wrestling is like, yeah, Ric Flair was the real world champion, like multiple times.
Yeah.
Anyone who beats that record doesn't matter anyway, because it's not the same. It's not the same thing.
No, I do enjoy it though. I think Bayley's going to be a good champion.
I hope they give her an opportunity to prove.
I hope they give her a run for it.
Yeah, I'd even.
Well, they're not. The next pay-per-view is the Saudi one, so she don't have to defend it at that because they're not going to be there, unfortunately. But
God Almighty! Well, half the roster are dropping out now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sammy, Kevin, Daniel Bryan
have all pulled out and said they're not going. Fair enough. That's fair enough. And,
I wouldn't go.
And fair, same.
Well, I mean, I've not seen the paycheck yet. I mean, I'll probably do a lot of things for that paycheck.
Well, fair on them, but also on WWE to sort of, like we said last time, to not hold that against them either. To respect their decision. And I know it's a little different with Sami Zayn because he's not gone to any of them, and he's made his reason is quite clear because of the whole sort of Middle East thing. And I know I don't want to really get too much into it because it's not.
It's the Middle East, isn't it? This is like we're not exactly going to fix it on this podcast. No, can you believe it? And it's like, actually, Sheikh, I've been listening to a podcast,
I know,
and it's really changed my mind about this whole, hating the Jews thing. And it's like, no, that's never going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
Never going to happen.
Okay, let's move on to the US title match. Actually, so the Samoa Joe Rey Mysterio match, another one that got cut short. Wasn't
it a dual injury? This though,
well,
like a shoot dual injury, or is the Rey Mysterio thing a little bit? They're just saying it because apparently dislocated his shoulder or
something? The match at Mania got cut short beforehand because of I think it was an ankle injury that Mysterio had. So they just sort of went, well, we're just going to have to do 90 seconds and get the Coquina clutch on him, and then that's it.
Yeah.
This one was cut short because of Rey breaking Samoa Joe's nose, basically.
I mean, to be honest, if you don't get into the behind the scenes stuff like we do, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
They have like 2 matches, and for some reason they're just right short. And it's like you can. I mean, it kind of makes sense.
It's almost like they've just got the better of each other on two occasions, isn't it? Really?
There's no reason to punish either of the guys or be like, this is a write-off, because you can be like, let's just play on this.
Yeah.
And biggest thing that surprised me, Ray's never had that title. I couldn't believe it.
No, I thought... I couldn't
believe it.
He's now a Grand Slam champion. I'm like, I'm sure he's had that before.
Weird, isn't it?
Right, weird. Not.
But I suppose it's the things you remember. Like I know, like obviously you remember seeing Eddie with it and seeing like a lot of guys that... Because, I mean... That title went round SmackDown like chlamydia. Like back in the day, everyone had that thing. And you think Rey was there for so long. Did Undertaker even have it at one point? I can't remember. We'll have to find that out.
I think, well, he's a Grand Slam champion, isn't he? So
he must have had it. Because like, everyone had that belt. I can't believe Rey somehow didn't. Doesn't make any sense.
No, it's strange.
Good on him, though.
Speaking of Undertaker, there's quite a thing I saw on Twitter that was quite funny, a gif going around of Rey Mysterio breaking Undertaker's nose exactly the same way as he broke Samoa Joe's nose, and they're actually the videos are sort of on top of each other, and they're
exactly
to the second perfect. And also
that's brilliant.
Taker and Joe's reaction is the same. They both just grab the nose and sort of sit up and
I've been
maybe take that out.
Maybe just stop.
Maybe don't have that in your moveset anymore.
You couldn't do it then. You can't do it now. I mean, I've luckily never had a broken nose, but like, my Dad's had several, and he's just like, it just goes right through your head. It's like you can't
your eyes are watering. I've touched wood. I've not had one, but I've had several. Like,
I bet Ethan has
playing hits. I've been smashed in the face plenty of times playing football. So. Especially playing in goal, and it does, your eyes just stream, and it's horrible. So fair play for him to be able to
definitely
even get through a bit, and then getting through the sort of the beatdown bit afterwards as well. When he's
you could tell he weren't like his equilibrium were off. Like the way, like he's normally quite a slick operator, Joe. Yeah. You could tell he was a bit shaky, and he's just kind of a bit like, I don't really want to like throw myself around too much because I feel like I'm probably going to be sick.
Well, as soon as it sort of happened, the camera was on Rey, and Rey was just looking at the ref for a good sort of 5 seconds. There was no offense. There was a real like.
Was it Lil Nate referee?
No, it wasn't. No, it was a real sort of like, oh, shit. Now what? And then they got kind of in a bit of a rest hold, and you just see the ref just go up and like, we're going to have to go home now. We're going to go home now.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it didn't need to be a long match.
No,
didn't need.
The other thing as well with the actual finish is, and maybe this was planned but then got brought in, is that Joe's shoulders were clearly up as well, and the 3 got counted still.
So, what's happening with that then? Because I remember I haven't seen their segment on SmackDown, and I remember Tuesday day. Okay. I remember Tuesday day reading that Joe was going to come out and ask Ray to hand the title over on SmackDown.
Okay.
Did that even happen?
I don't think so.
Because I don't remember that happening.
I don't remember that happening.
Like,
unless I've missed it.
There was WWE posted an Instagram post saying the fate of the US title will be discussed on SmackDown Live. Oh no, wait, has it been moved to Raw? It has. It's been moved to Raw, so it'll be next week on Raw. Yeah. Right, got you. I'm getting confused.
Yeah. The shake-up thing that's not actually clearly not happened because they're all just going on each other's shows.
It doesn't make any sense. But I'm hoping with that, there's like, obviously you want the match to kind of someone else to come into the mix, but it's possible they might be looking at changing that belt. I saw Leather Rebels were working on something for the US title maybe about 2 months ago, something like that. And in there was
one that kind of got leaked a long time, about 18 months ago, weren't there?
It looked like the Intercontinental title, but with a big eagle on it. Yeah, and it looked really good.
It did, yeah. And
I've heard rumor, like through different places, different sources or whatever, and it might all be bullshit, but that they are planning on, they're wanting the belts to be streamlined a bit more. Yeah. And the US title, it's kind of iconic, but I think they could do, like, the original US title from WCW was a lot more belt looking.
Yeah.
And I think a revamp of that belt, especially with the new belt that we're going to be talking about in a minute, it could be a good idea just to give that a revamp, just to put some more life back into it.
It's a strange one with the US title. You're almost a bit like, oh yeah, forget about that.
Yeah,
because it's not got the same esteem as the Intercontinental title.
Not even close.
And they're both designed to be the same thing. That's something for the mid card and the sort of lower main card guys to sort of go for. But it's not nowhere near as it is. To me, it's not at the same level as the Intercontinental champion. Weird, but then that depends who the Intercontinental champion is. Some guys have. I don't think they've been great at it. I don't think Roman Reigns was a great Intercontinental champion, but you look at...
I think in the last few years...
Look at The Miz was a great Intercontinental champion.
Balor's, to be honest, I think Balor's doing a good job with it. Like, he's at least... You feel like he is lower top card rather than upper mid card. Like, he can
he's more A- than B+, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Whereas, like, The Miz, as much as you want to say anything about him, he's B+, he's not A-. He falls into that category. And he was great, but you need to get it on more guys like Balor, guys like who would even fit that category? You know, people like Braun,
Andrade,
even Braun, probably. Andrade, guys who have like main evented takeovers. Shinsuke Nakamura, like such a good shout for the Intercontinental title because he's got that. I mean, he is the Intercontinental champion in Japan, even though he's not holding the belt. And is Jericho still got it?
Don't think so.
No. Mate, don't get me started. don't get me started on New Japan titles. Jesus. But yeah, like, give those guys who you feel
I think it's
like...
either Ibushi or Naito, I think. It's got that. It was from
Ibushi. I'm sure it's Ibushi, yeah. So yeah, just get those guys in the Intercontinental title scene, but then do the same thing with the US title. Yeah. And I get the mid-card guys need something, but do they? Like, they've got their 24/7 title.
Yeah, well, that's it. They've got that now.
Give them that. Let them fight over the scraps. It's like, we want to see, like, those belts want to be important.
Yeah.
Stop treating it like...
Well, before we talk about the 24/7 title, let's talk about the main event of Money in the Bank.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
A really, really good ladder match. Yeah. Obviously, before the match started, you saw sort of Triple H and everyone backstage, and Sami Zayn's hung upside down like, I don't know, like Batman's had him or something.
Yeah.
Hung upside down.
Does look like that, doesn't it? Like Rocky's about to come in and you start pounding on him.
Yeah,
man.
But the match itself was great. Andrade and Finn were probably the two standouts. That sunset flip onto the ladder and the height of how like Finn Balor bounced was amazing.
Like, I don't know how he even finished the match after that.
No.
Like, that'd kill me.
Yeah.
That'd actually kill me. Like, I don't know how he did it.
Yeah. Well, same with Ricochet. Ricochet got thrown over through the ladder. Obviously, the ladder's gimmick to try to break a bit easy, but still.
That's a fake one. I hate that.
But still, though, it's a high drop, though.
Yeah. I'm not taking anything away.
And then he wrestled the night after on Raw, so
beast. He's a beast. But
so I suppose, the ending that I don't think anyone's really expected it.
No, like the one thing I'd mention on Instagram is like you can love it or hate it, but I don't think anyone on the planet Earth expected that to happen.
No, not at all.
Like you couldn't like it just come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like it just literally came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I loved it.
I think it could have been done a bit quicker just because of the amount of time Ali was fiddling around with the briefcase, and then Brock Lesnar's music hit, and then he comes running down the ring and
destroys
a ladder and a couple of the camera crew.
What a boy! Honestly, like
straight in.
I love that. I love that he's just this big bully who doesn't give a shit about anything, and just how happy he looked. Like, he's such a jostler.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought it was mint, and I'm gutted Ethan's not here to tear into us. We've already had a disagreement about this.
We have, yeah. So I tweeted it out from our Twitter account. I think we were replying to another podcast. I think it might have been the guys who do 5 Moves of Doom podcast, and they were saying, you know what, we don't hate it.
Yeah.
And then I put, you know what, I liked it. We like Brock on this podcast, and you can boo him all you want, but he has genuine star power.
Yeah.
And he causes a genuine reaction.
Of course he does.
To the crowds. Whether that's negative or positive, it doesn't matter. It's it's the old sort of any publicity is good publicity.
100%.
And then we got a text from Ethan saying, "Could you put your name on your tweets from now on?" I hated that.
Classic Ethan. I'm gutted he's not here because he'd have tore into this.
Yeah.
Tore into this. But like I was talking to a mate about it actually, and he's a big Brock fan as well. And I'm just like, until someone comes along who can match his star power, his charisma, his presence, his legitimacy, then I'm sorry, but he can do what he wants.
Yeah.
It's like can you imagine in the Attitude Era if there was all these indie darlings and Austin just kept coming in and ruining it for everyone? It's like, well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
He's better than them all.
Yeah,
because he's the man right now.
It was funny because it had other people who don't normally talk about it.
Yeah,
talking about it.
Yeah.
It reminded me of when him and Goldberg had that match at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people who I know aren't really into wrestling but have enough knowledge of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where they just got, I can't believe what happened here. 1 minute 26, and he's just come in and done that. That's crazy. And it's the same people now are like, as if, I mean, Jericho did it, and he was kind of being really sarcastic about it, saying how, well, great booking. And it is that, you know, I've seen some funny tweets of like, it's great that you've given the Money in the Bank to this up and coming mid card.
But at the end of the day, Jericho, who's headlining All or Nothing? Do you know what I mean?
Well, true,
Double or Nothing. Who's headlining?
Yeah.
Like, do you really need to be headlining it? I mean, I get it, business, but I mean, if we're talking about giving the up and comers a shot, none of them are ready.
No,
like none of them are ready.
No,
and
they're not.
Brock's not exactly an old horse. He's in mint nick. Because he's probably
on
steroids.
He looks better now
great.
than what he did when he was a few years ago, I think.
Yeah. And he's into it. You look at him and he's genuinely having a great time. Yeah. And like it's like when that SmackDown from like 2002 where he's like riffing on Eddie Guerrero and he comes out in the big sombrero and he's got the mariachi band and he's just having the best time. And you're like, when Brock is like on and enjoying it, he's amazing.
When he wants to work with you, you'll have a really good match with him. Yeah. Look at the match they had with Finn Balor. At Rumble. Look at the match he had with Samoa Joe a couple of years back at that Great Balls of Fire.
So good.
Amazing matches. And if he doesn't want to have a good match with you, you'll know about it because he'll just.
And I think
he'll
that's
just squash it.
Is he any different from the Undertaker back in the day?
No,
because Undertaker would be like that. He's like, I'm the guy here. I am the guy. Yeah. And it's like if you don't want to cooperate, then I'll shut you down.
Yeah.
And that's
obviously the payoff for him. I mean, with going back to the whole Goldberg thing and him losing so quickly to Goldberg. The payoff would have been, right, so you're going to lose now. It's gone really well. Let's do it again at the Rumble. Let's have him eliminate you real quick at the Rumble, and then we'll push this to Mania where you're going to get your revenge on him. And I know it's 6-7 months down the line, but you'll get your spot, and then you'll go on this big run with the Universal title at the end of it. But he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to go, I'm not losing in 1 minute 26 to this guy who's just come back and had his first match in God knows how long.
Yeah. He likes Goldberg though. That's the thing. Genuinely likes the guy because they're on that wavelength where like because he's mates with Steve Austin and the Undertaker and they're just men's men, aren't they?
That's it.
And there's not a lot of them left in the business.
No.
So it's like there is
even the match he had with him against Daniel Bryan with this some of Survivor who's just gone was really good as well.
Yeah. He probably respects Daniel Bryan's because Daniel Bryan's kind of a weird subverted alpha male. Like he doesn't let anyone tell him what to do, and he just does what he wants.
And he works hard and literally doesn't say like, "I'm not letting you tell me I'm retired. I'm going to show you."
And Brock will just be like, "Fuck, great," and he lays it in. He lays his shit in. And Brock's just like, "If you are willing to go with me, I'll go with you." Yeah, and that's it. So I'm happy with it. But
I like that match that they had at Survivor Series.
Loved it
because it started out as
Brian's figured him out.
The first sort of 5 or 10 minutes of the match were just. The crowd were just not into it because it was just Brock throwing him around, and everyone was just as soon as Daniel Bryan sort of landed close to his neck and winced and went, "Oh God!"
That,
and I was watching it thinking like, oh, he's just going to throw him around, and then he's going to get a little bit of offense, but then he got more in, and it built and built and built and built, and then I think even Meltzer gave it like 4.75 stars or something like that, because it was a genuinely good match.
It's like the thing Daniel Bryan does that, like, because you can compare Daniel Bryan to like Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, but the thing that Daniel Bryan does is he like really contextualizes his performance, where he goes, I'm facing this guy. He was like rolling about like a monkey, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And it's a callback to like when he was on that Total Divas episode where he's in the gym and he's like saying, I'm developing a new style so I don't have to land on my
literally
neck.
Literally crazy
like,
monkey fight.
Yeah,
it's a literal fight.
It's awesome,
style,
isn't it?
Yeah.
And just that level where you'll see other guys will face Brock and they'll do the worried face pacing, and that's what they all do. Worried face pacing as Brock's coming in the ring.
Not mocking him like he was.
Yeah. Daniel Bryan was just mocking him.
Yeah.
He was like looking at him, and because he was doing that whole build up to the new Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
He had this level of like unhinged where like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if he kills me. Like this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. I might watch that match again. Actually,
I like that
good.
he's got it. I think it's. I don't like how they're pretty much alluding to we're going to tell you when we're cashing it in.
Don't like that.
I don't like that. I do
that.
think they should just
that.
have some film pay-per-view. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's SummerSlam or something. And
I'd like to build to SummerSlam. They haven't had a big SummerSlam main event in a while.
And they just go in.
That'd be wicked. Like, you want to have it so, like, you really... But the thing is, you are always going to be waiting for that music to hit.
Yeah.
But it has to be done that way. You can't say Brock's cashing in on this day unless it'd be kind of cool to see him do it on like a Beast in the East type thing. You know, like a small show in a different country. Maybe it's on the network and he cashes in, and like rather than do it on the pay-per-view side of things, just do it on a network exclusive and like have it in like a small arena. Like Japan would be great.
Yeah.
Like imagine if he cashed in against like Seth Rollins in Japan and left him there beaten with all the like confetti in the ring and stuff like that, and he just like that'd be a statement. It'd be something new
that sort of does kind of make it look a little it's a bit questionable. Is that the next pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia is Brock versus Seth anyway?
Yeah,
which
that's
just
weird.
Completely nullifies any threat of you being Money in the Bank. But then again, this whole
I was just about to ask.
This pay-per-view is nothing. It's an exhibition man, isn't it? It's not really anything to do with anything that's actually going on in.
I mean, if it's an exhibition match, then it's obviously not going to be for the title. So maybe
I mean,
just...
like as in the storylines aren't really serving any purpose to the main storylines back on day to day, or
not at all. It's just like I mean, they probably think Brock Lesnar's the Ultimate Warrior. They've probably got no fucking idea. But no, I just the only way I could see them doing that is if either one of them drops out of that match, like Seth loses the belt, or one of them drops out. Or they'll do it that Brock decimates Seth, and then Seth has to build back up to him. But the way they did it at Mania, Seth beat him seemingly so easily. It's like Brock's power level is massively inconsistent. Like massively inconsistent. Sometimes he'll come out and just, beat an undefeated champion in 6 seconds flat. Sometimes he'll get beaten fairly easily. He never works longer than 6-7 minutes anyway. So it's like when he loses, it's like, I mean, how long did he go with Seth at Mania? It wasn't that long.
It was only about 5 minutes. Probably, maybe a bit longer than that, but it didn't seem very long.
So it doesn't make sense. It's like they're just explaining it away. Like sometimes he's super powerful, other times he's just shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh well.
Raw the night after then, so Mick Foley comes out and reveals the new title, the 24/7 title. A lot of speculation on what it would be. In fairness, they kept it quite guarded of what it could be. I mean, I know they only really announced the night before there's going to be a new title tomorrow, which is probably
with Foley,
keeping it close to the chest.
We always had the assumption it was going to be something hardcore related, but I remember you making the point saying like, well, the PG, so what are they really going to do? And
it can't be
saying
that.
About an answer to AEW as well, but
there was a lot of speculation of, I've seen stuff online of like, it's going to be almost like a Legends title, and it's going to have more of a thing towards, it's going to be something for like Taker and Goldberg to be fighting for at the Saudi show.
I mean,
or it's going to be
a Masters
like a Masters title
cool.
or something.
That's quite a good idea, actually.
I wouldn't mind some kind of like grizzled veterans kind of.
That's a cool idea.
Title.
Yeah, I like. You know what? That's a good idea.
Maybe we should copyright that. Really.
They don't have them very often.
No.
So like, I did see Drew McIntyre on their Instagram story about, well, it'll have been because when I look at it in retrospect, I'd seen the reveal first and then went back and looked at their Insta story. It's probably about an hour before they revealed it, and he was saying about wanting a European title back. And I thought, oh, that would have been quite a cool reveal if they brought the European title. Well, then you go, well, they've got the UK title, so you're kind of muddying the waters there a little bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, it doesn't serve a purpose. Whereas, I mean, the 24/7 title, not a bad idea, but I know there's been a massive backlash in terms of how it looks.
Well, yeah, when it was revealed, it was a bit like, what is that? What's that meant to be?
It's like
and I don't get the purpose of it all. No. And then we were talking about it, and then you mentioned about how, you know what, it looks like a Rolex.
Yeah.
And it's based on obviously being defended 24/7, so time is probably an idea they've had as a design for it, and then we 100%. Were looking at pictures of Rolexes, and I'm like, actually, there's quite a lot of Rolexes that have got a green strap and a gold face. And
well, doing a little bit of looking into it, I think I'm not 100% sure. The boxing title, I think it's the IBF, the big green one. I do believe that one is based on a Rolex.
Right.
So
okay.
that is based on. That was based on not so much like they've done it where they've gone time Rolex, but the idea of the green strap, the large rounded plate, the luxury element.
Okay.
So it's like this title, like Ethan pointed out, it looked like the Great Gatsby, like the writing. So it's got that 50s kind of.
It's got that sort of Art Deco.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the green leather, it's just like two and two together. It looks like a Rolex. And then you pulled up them images, and I've just been talking about it ever since. But I kept up our original post, well, my original post, I suppose, where it's just a big vomiting face of the actual title. But like, it's in a way grown on me. I still don't really like it, but I can see where they're coming from, and I just think it's a case of great concept for the belt. Just maybe a little bit sloppy execution on the detailing.
Yeah, I think
could have made it look really nice.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't think it looks particularly stunning. It doesn't look great, but from what we've seen of Raw and then SmackDown and then all the sort of social media stuff, it's already serving its purpose for something for those mid-card guys to get their teeth into, to have these social media feuds with each other where you can take it literally outside of the arena, and it's on, Drake Maverick's filming these little videos in the airport, I'm in the airport and I know where I'm going to, all this kind of thing.
I think
Lacey Evans did the same with a photo of R-Truth on the plane, and she'd put a target on his back with some eyes and like, I'm coming for you, and then all the women's division are like, I'm going to roll him up when I see him, I'm going to get it.
It's good banter for the locker room, isn't it?
It's I think that's what it probably is, and it's giving them something to get stuck into that's not right. Come in. I mean, I often think about this. If you're one of these guys who's like wears loads of like, you've got your gear on and you've got your hands all taped up, and
you've got to be ready to go out,
and you've got to be ready to go out, but you're not, and all you're doing is just be there for a backstage segment. So like. I know it's completely different now, but Bray used to like have his hand taped up in his way that his thumb was entirely taped up.
Yeah.
And he would look like that, even if and then just do a TV segment and then never actually be in the ring. And I used to think like, why go to all that effort to get ready to make it look like get your hair slicked or whatever to go out, and you're not going to do anything. You're just there for a TV segment.
And you look at all the because it's a intergender title as well. You look at all the women who have to sit in makeup for probably like a good couple of hours every night, even if they're not on TV,
to just get maybe captured in a backstage segment walking past someone.
If just in case Vince decides at the last minute, I'm going to use you, because apparently, according to Meltzer, this last episode of Raw was an absolute shambles.
Oh, it was getting changed during the show. Changes that we made.
Every woman on that roster.
That's why Baron Corbin took the pin.
Right off.
Ridiculous.
Nikki Cross has got the right idea. Oh, I'm a mentalist. I don't have makeup.
Yeah, don't worry.
It's very good. Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'm a mentalist. It's just like brilliant.
Yeah,
excellent. But I think it's good for those guys as well, because you do see there is a lot of talent in the mid card. To be fair, you've got Gallows and Anderson. You've got Robert Roode. Like you say, R-Truth. He's doing some wicked stuff with it already.
Yeah,
it's just like it does give them something to do, and they're not just sat about. And like, it's easier for you if you're Fandango and you're not getting booked. You can just go, oh wait, I've got a really good idea for this 24/7 thing. Because you look at what DDT.
Well, you would just text someone from creative and be like, I'm just gonna do this on my social media.
Yeah. Is that cool? And they'll be like, oh yeah, brilliant.
Sounds right, cool.
If you in any way have ever done anything with delegation, if someone's coming to you with an idea and you've got 101 things on, and they can just fill 10 minutes on screen. Yeah, wicked. Amazing. You handle that, do that. It's like they're obviously going to be taking a lot of ideas from the DDT Iron Man heavy metalweight title or whatever it is, where it's like a ladder had it at one point and the ladder got pinned by a dog, and then the dog got pinned by... There was one recently where it was Joey Ryan got pinned by Candice LeRae, a puppet of Candice LeRae in a dream, and she won the title. So he went to bed with the title. He had a dream where he was a puppet, and then a puppet Candice LeRae came in, like, kicked him or whatever, or did a finisher on him, pinned him, and he woke up and the title was gone.
Brilliant.
Candice had it, and it's just that. Like proper piss.
They could do more stuff with that when it's almost, and not that they'll. I mean, they probably do have one eye on it, but they can almost do like what the Young Bucks are doing with like the Be the Elite series. They can almost have that kind of segment kind of thing running for their social media channels, especially on their YouTube channel, where they can have these little 5-minute skits and sketches and stuff. I mean, Definitely. There was one where they showed you Kathy Kelly was like walking around the back going, "Oh, I'm just looking for the champion so I can interview him," but there's like a ref behind her, and it's like little things like that, and it probably is. If I were a
little it now,
nod to that, but
I'd have one where like I don't know, someone who already maybe has a belt wins it but doesn't want it, like wins it by accident and then has to carry it everywhere, and they're like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Like you know, like a tag champion or something,
like they have to do with the Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't think for 1 minute Brock's doing that, but I know.
Brock could be just giving it to Paul and just be like, "FedEx it to me." In this
I know
city,
that Baron Corbin did it, and I know that when Carmella was carrying it around, she had an iPad and a phone and everything, and literally it's my carry-on. Like I love that.
That's so good.
Maybe they should do it with the 24 hour
angle where he's like, you could have someone
who's a member of the public, like a member of the public should win it.
Yeah.
And it is a little bit, obviously, that's what they did with the hardcore title. And
I'd like that.
There was a little section. Remember when Gerald Briscoe did it while someone was asleep?
Yeah.
And the referee's like really counting, and he's like celebrating really like
so
quietly.
Funny. Like, if you think about it, we remember that. There's a whole generation who does not remember it. Like with Crash Holly in that kid's play park when he's gone down the little slide.
The ball pit.
And it's like, it was one of the best things of the Attitude Era. And I think with that belt as well, fuck it up. If you don't like the look of it, just fuck it up.
Yeah.
Just like properly ruin the thing.
If it's getting defended 24 hours, it's going to have to take a bit of a beating.
It's going to look a mess. You notice the side plates have got nothing on them apart from a little bit of detail on either side.
Well, there's no need to, is there? Because they're probably not going to be champion long enough to have your own side plates.
They're saying they'll probably never have a render. They're saying they should have one where like they do a render, they take a photo, then as soon as they put the photo up, someone else is behind them in the render, and then they just get replaced almost immediately. There's so much potential for a bit of banter with it.
Oh God, it was Steve Carino. There was a photo of our True folded it, and Steve Carino's in the back, like giving him the eyes.
He's got like the double axe handle up in the air, about to just smack him with it.
I did like that.
So much potential there.
The last hour of Raw was a little strange because they kind of turned all the ring posts off.
Looked like Takeover, didn't it?
Yeah.
Looks great.
Yeah,
I really like it. Like someone had pointed out, the only reason they ever had house lights was because of all the lights in the signs in the Attitude Era.
Okay.
Because it looked so good. Because prior to that, they didn't really have house lights. They used to just dim it like you would a boxing match so you could focus on what's going on in the ring.
Right.
So much easier to see what's going on in the ring and actually focus yourself. Because, like, you'll watch a Takeover, and I don't know, like, I think we'd mentioned it a few times in the podcast, like, the matches where you can just put your phone down, not check it at all, and be in the match.
Yeah.
The lighting helps with that so much.
It does, yeah.
Because you're not looking at, like, Frank the Clown and that Brock Lesnar guy idiot and all those morons who are professional WWE fans and just follow it everywhere on tour and don't have jobs. They are scum. Subhuman scum. I hate those people. And the more we can do to blank them out of existence totally and just make them totally redundant, the better. So I'm fully on board with just turning all house lights down and just watching the wrestling in the ring. Yeah, I think it's wicked.
They did it with Evolution. It was a similar look.
Yeah, they did.
It was a similar look, and it looked really good.
Beast in the East as well.
Yeah,
that was like that.
All the house shows are like that.
Keep going on about that. It was a great pay-per-view. I hope they keep it that way, because you were saying maybe they're going a bit more gritty for the third hour.
Yeah, I think that was the idea. It's almost a little bit like Warzone when it moved from Raw as War and went into Warzone.
Good, that. You know, when you'd come back from commercial, it'd be Warzone. Yeah. You're like, oh shit, it's going to kick off now. Someone's going to get concussion. Someone's swearing. Oh, good shit.
Moving on to SmackDown.
Oh, mate, we didn't mention Brock's Boombox.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta mention Brock's Boombox.
That was
probably going to be the name of the episode. Not going to lie.
That was really funny.
All the remixes. They've done
I've seen some really good stuff for like what he's listening to.
What is it? Green Light. They've done. What was the name of the Funkasaurus?
Was it like Brass Monkey or something as well?
Yeah, that was good. Brilliant. Like,
funny.
He is living the dream. I'm chuffed for him.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely chuffed for him. But yeah, it was really good.
So SmackDown, Dolph Ziggler returns.
Yeah.
Just the other week we were saying, where is he? What's he doing?
No, comedy.
Yeah, comedy sketch. He's kind of got some deal at the minute where because they were trying to push him towards being a writer, weren't they?
Being like a
some part of creative,
or
a road agent, basically.
Road agent, yeah. Because I mean, if anyone's going to be able to set up good matches, it's Dolph.
Yeah.
I mean, that elimination chamber he were in when he was just like, it's all gone tits up. Just follow me.
Don't worry,
and I'll get us through it.
Yeah.
He'd be great at that. But I mean, he's got a lot of years wrestling left in him. I just think it's like, at least repackage him. Like, you're doing it with Bray, do it with Dolph.
Yeah.
Like, let him be his Nick Namath. Great name for a wrestler. Yeah. Let him be Nick Namath.
Yeah.
Let him win the world title. Let him just go mad. Let him just brag about it.
Maybe that's some sort of direction to go into him, because he is straight in now to the title picture with Kofi at this Saudi Arabia show. So he's coming back straight in at main event.
Give him Gallows and Anderson instead of AJ.
Yeah.
And he can wear his like stud leather jackets. He can be like Shawn Michaels. He can have them cheat
This
to
is
win.
what I loved
idea.
about him with Drew McIntyre, that it was essentially Shawn Michaels and Diesel. It was great.
It was great, and they could have capitalised on it, but they had too much. It was kind of the opposite of like Michaels and Diesel.
Yeah.
They had plans, real big plans for McIntyre.
Yeah.
And he can handle himself on his own. And Dolph just unfortunately just didn't bring enough to the table.
No, he didn't. Unfortunately,
We'll see.
Okay, let's move on to AEW.
Yeah, fuck SmackDown.
This Saturday.
Nothing else happening.
It's this Saturday.
Yeah, it is.
$14.95, I think it is, in England.
Good value. I mean,
$50 in America.
Oof.
$20 in Australia. So the price is all, but it's the box office that dictates the price, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's on Bleacher Report live in America, which I didn't know they had a pay-per-view platform over there. But
I didn't.
ITV box office over.
I got rid of them
England.
because they just kept spoiling everything. Just pinging up apps on me.
Yeah.
Bloody notifications. Even when I turn notifications off, it's like, oh, Bleacher Report.
Somehow getting through.
That thing you really wanted to know about. Yeah, here it is. Brilliant.
Well, a couple of things that have sort of happened before that. One of them that was announced yesterday is that Sean Spears, aka Ty Dillinger, has signed with AEW.
Go on, son. Is he going under the name Sean Spears now?
Yes.
It's a terrible name.
He's going in. He's going to be in the Battle Royal. Quite a good way of revealing it, because they're doing it with the deck of cards, where you get a deck of cards, you get dealt a card, and it's your whatever suit you are and number you are, you go in at a certain time. I'm not not sure how it's going to work, but he. The card got dealt out, and it was the 10 of diamonds, and he held it up, and it was him. It was like, okay, it's good way of revealing yourself. For
should
that.
change his name's like 10 Derringer or something.
10
10's a right name.
Well, the thing is, he's called Sean Spears,
10.
but because his Twitter handle is still Perfect 10.
Sean, there's a wrestler in Cumbria called, well, he used to be called Alex Spears. Just a fact I'd throw in there. But I just think it's not a good name for him. But I hope he does well, because I always really enjoyed his matches. I thought he was really, really good.
In NXT, he was amazing.
He was wicked. He was like one of those. NXT's weird because every time it cycles through the similar kind of people.
Yeah.
And he was one of those old hand. You knew he was never going to win the big one, but he was always like, he's going to come out and have a good match.
Yeah.
Tyler Breeze was like that. Cassius Ohno was like that. You go through these guys who were just solid, but you're just like, they're never going to be top of the mountain. But I always love watching him. So yeah, good on him.
Yeah,
what else has changed in AEW?
So the Pac versus Hangman Page match is no longer happening at AEW because it happened on Saturday in Nottingham.
What I don't get about
Wrestle
this
Gate.
is they're all saying that neither of them wanted to lose, because Pac was like, I'm really cautious about my character in Dragon Gate. But they could have just done that finish on AEW.
Yeah, they could have just had some kind of DQ count out thing. No one's could get the better of each other, or Pac does something to. It
would set them apart, because they were saying they don't want to have any shenanigan endings, or don't want to have any unconclusive endings. But it's like, that's what you like to Cody. That's what your dad built his career on.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That's why it's called a dusty finish.
It's called a dusty finish. Just have a time limit on it. It's gone to the time limit. Pac could just be like, you're really good. They do like a shake hands. He goes to walk away, and Pac just nuts him in the back of the head, and then just starts punching him in the face. And it's like, there you go. He's a bastard. Yeah. That's what he does. But it was a great match. It was a great match. It was really good.
The one thing that I'm really disappointed about is that we were supposed to go to that, and we had chant, and the plans changed a little bit, and we couldn't make it anymore. And then I remember waking up. I think I was just going to bed Saturday night, and it came on, and I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, I don't believe it! I can't believe." And we could have been there. We could have been there for it.
We could have reported on the scene. We could have been telling you how good it was in last week's episode, as opposed to this week's episode. But it happens.
Great match though.
Really good. There was one spot where Hangman hits him with a super kick, and he falls back into the ropes, and then Hangman comes off the other side. Pac spins out, he hits the ropes chest first on the other side, and then Pac just hits him with this like super snap.
That German.
Oh, it was mint. It was really good. It
Clean
was
as anything.
Good. And that one where where Hangman goes up to the top rope and Pac's on the outside, like acting like he's injured. But as soon as Hangman starts climbing, Pac just jumps up and like throws him, and he like flips head first and lands on the hardest part of the ring.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, that's got to be rough, that.
Yeah.
Really good match, though.
Amazing.
So solid.
Great that it happened on a promotion like Wrestle Gate as well. I think that's the third or fourth show.
I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? That's
unbelievable.
Like, it just shows the care of like the guys in the indies at the minute, like working for Dragon Gate, AEW. They want to elevate everything around them. It's not like WWE where they're like, just everything go away. We can't cope with you. They're just like, the better you're doing, the better we're doing. Yeah. It's wicked.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Gary Ward is the sort of main face who kind of runs it, but what him and his team have done in such a short space of time, the quality of the bookings that they're getting and the quality of the matches that they're having in those events is just unbelievable. And
yeah, I think like we traditionally, I mean, we've not gone to wrestling in a while. Like we traditionally would have gone to Progress, but I think like, I'm not casting shade on them, but I feel like they have. I'm a bit tired of seeing the same matches over and over again, and I think WrestleGate's definitely going to be the next one we look at going to, just because of the variation.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I see the same match over and over again at Progress, and I feel like you've got a bit of that with the WWE tag now. You're never going to see Pac at Progress. You're never going to see Hangman Page at Progress, and it's like, yeah, they've made the right decision business-wise for themselves. In the I don't want to say short-term or long-term because we don't know what's going to be the right business decision, but Progress are in one camp, and All Elite are in the other.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to see a bit more of the All Elite stuff.
Well, this is the thing, and the point I was going to make is in our opinion, the most popular, well, not the most popular, but the coolest guys in wrestling at the minute aren't in WWE.
Yeah, of course they're not.
They're all in an All Elite, and it's Cody, it's the Young Bucks, it's Hangman Page, it's Pac.
Without exception, the only other person I'd say would be Brock. I'd like to see Brock, but the rest of them, I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered. They've all lost their shine to me.
Yeah.
Velveteen Dream. There we go.
Maybe.
Adam Cole.
But they're sort of NXT.
I take back everything I said. Yeah, they're NXT.
So you don't class them as main WWE roster anyway, because they get to kind of do what they want
their own thing
in
in
NXT. But what it does mean is, and what is great for Wrestle Gate Pro is that you don't know who might turn up now.
I've got one for you. What are the odds of us having a major pay-per-view from AEW in the UK? Tony Khan, they're always here. They're travelling.
Yeah.
Mate, Wembley. Do you think they could do that?
Wembley Arena, definitely.
Wembley Stadium.
I wouldn't say Wembley Stadium.
God, come on.
90,000 is a lot to fill. But definitely, I mean, maybe one day, but let's see how it goes.
I mean, I'd say they'd probably do it before WWE. But then again, WWE would sell the tickets faster.
Yeah.
But Tottenham Ground?
Maybe.
Is that big?
Maybe.
How many's in that?
It would probably, like this, if it's going to be anything at a football ground, it would be at Fulham's ground.
Oh, is it not Tottenham? I don't know.
Fulham is the team that the Khan family own in England.
Right.
But he was trying to buy Wembley Stadium.
Was he?
He bid 800. I think he offered 800 million for it.
I don't know how much it's worth.
It cost about $950 to build and took about 10 years longer than it should have done.
That'd be like, I wouldn't even know how to calculate that. It'd be like, how much is a bathroom going to cost? I don't know. I just don't know. Just don't know. So he'd be getting that at a bit of a bargain, wouldn't he? Is it a buyer's market for stadiums, Brexit and that?
Well, I don't know. The problem is when you've got a stadium like Wembley where it's not used as much as, let's say, Old Trafford or Man City's ground is. It's not used week in, week out.
Is it anyone's home stadium or is it not?
It was Tottenham's until Tottenham finally had theirs finished. So Tottenham are using it. But normally it's not. It's normally internationals and then sort of playoffs towards the end. Some rugby on there as well. And then obviously the NFL series they have there as well. But I think it's just a point of it costs so much to run that, you know what, take 800, 850 off this guy.
Mate, you could do a weekend of redneck sports. You could have the football on, like the American football. You could have the football, the American football, the wrestling.
Monster truck thing, they do that there as well.
Monster trucks, NASCAR.
That's it.
It'd be great. It'd be great.
It's great for WrestleGate. It's amazing that they're now affiliated with All Elite. All Elite put their match on their channel.
Unbelievable.
And they used
such good exposure.
They used the WrestleGate commentators as well.
Yeah.
So unbelievable for them. Like, hats off to them for what they've done so far.
It's such a brave decision to make on WrestleGate's part as well, because it's kind of like taking the side of one manager at work and you know you're going to get it in the neck from the other manager. Do you think, like, they'll never be able to work with WWE for a good while now because they've chosen their camp? It's like that's a brave decision, but it's the right one in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Progress have got that part cordoned off.
Yeah.
You're so smart for getting in bed quick with the other big company.
Yeah.
And they there will be a big company. I can feel it. The only concern a few people have had is like, is the crowd gonna let the heels be heels, let the faces be faces, like boo who they're supposed to be, cheer, or is it just gonna be a sea of smarky chants? Do you know what I mean? I can't really remember as far back as what was the other show? All In. I can't really remember what that from a crowd perspective was like. I don't remember it being bad because we didn't mention it, but I just think like at this point now we've reached the climax of smarky wrestling fans. Like they've got their own thing now.
They'll do their own podcasts.
Exactly. I just don't want it to be like an arena full of fans all coming up with different chants to set to like Come On Eileen and friggin' Wham. Like, do you know what I mean?
I think with the way that WrestleGate, not WrestleGate, with the way All Elite has kind of set their stall out as it's a sport. There's stats involved. Good. There's time limits. Good. There's no story promos, or we're not really going to be doing promos. Good. That probably lends itself to more of your actual wrestling fan that just wants to see two guys, two girls in the ring, just having an absolute amazing match and letting everything go without someone really running in and ruining it because it's part of a storyline later down the line. I think WrestleGate have done that really well, where it's that sport feel.
That's what you need. I'd certainly like to be able to, on this podcast, review an event from a stats perspective. Yeah. It'd be really refreshing to do it. Like, we could actually just look at things and break it down. Like, who had the most like significant strikes in that match? Who had the most, most time in a position of control? Like, how many times did they take a powder or like exit the competition to return into it, or whatever they're tracking? It'd be interesting to talk about it, like, as if we're not just talking about the gossip behind the scenes, because the content in the ring is actually worth talking about as well. Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, the amount of time we mentioned spots and stuff like that, we don't really, because a lot of the time you've seen a lot of it before, but when it comes to talking about AEW, we get a little bit more into that.
Yeah. I suppose so. We kind of tend to talk about, most of the times we don't even really mention the result. We just talk about what that result meant going forward. Rather than like, oh, Bailey beat this person. Yeah. And that's the end of that conversation. And then this is what they're then planning for this.
It's kind of like when you think about WWE, you're always looking for the next thing, because currently, like, you don't want to live in the moment because it's shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whereas with AEW, you're perfectly happy to live in the moment because it's like, that was awesome. Yeah. Like when Cody beat Nick Aldis, the fallout from that wasn't great, but the match itself and the end of the match was really special and really important, and you're like, that's what you take away from it. Yeah,
definitely. So Saturday then is Double or Nothing. I've got the card in front of us, so we can have a little rundown of what that might be. These aren't in any particular order, so I don't know what order they're going to be in. Obviously, the Page and Pac match is now not happening.
Gone.
This may free Hangman up to have a match with somebody else. Some rumours maybe John Moxley might be there. That would be unbelievable if that's the case. I'm kind of 20% of like that will happen.
Personally, fair, I'm pretty confident that'll happen. I've seen a few rumours where I'm kind of like, it does make sense.
Yeah, that's where he's going.
But, he's got to strike while the iron's hot, doesn't he? Yeah, he's not showing up at any other indie promotions.
No, he's not. So Kenny Omega against Chris Jericho, we know will be main eventing. This will be the second match of their kind of sort of series after the Wrestle Kingdom
Jericho's
one.
looking in great shape, He's doing a lot of MMA training.
He is, yeah.
Speaking of Jericho, he's still not got back in touch. Obviously does not care about his wedding
Maybe
video.
he just found saw our post and he just cut out us as the middlemen and gone straight to the source to get his DVD back.
Well, I thought...
Or he found another copy.
I did think that. But, there's no skin off my nose, because if he has, he's not mentioned it anywhere. And that's all I was in it for. Like, honestly, I don't really give two shits. No, but it's disappointing. But we'll keep you updated on that chapter anyway. We'll see how that goes. I don't think he'll go anywhere, but,
There's a triple threat match on. Britt Baker against Nyla Rose against Kylie Ray.
Kylie
Ray, sorry.
Yeah. Nyla Rose is transgender, right?
No, yes. I don't think so.
Yeah. I think she is.
Really?
Was a man, now a woman. I think so. Am I thinking about the right person?
Are you thinking of Sonny Kiss?
No, Sonny Kiss is a different type. I'm almost sure. Nyla Rose, let me have a look.
All right, well, you look at that. The other matches on there.
Yep.
Is that the case?
Born a man. now wrestles as a woman, now is a woman, lives as a woman. Not just wrestles as a woman, is a woman.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So they're going
amazing.
They're going deep into it for diversity, which is great.
Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for that. That's gonna be like that's my supposed match of the night. I think that's gonna be wicked. I don't think it's gonna be the most technical, but
no, I don't.
Story wise, I'm really looking forward to that. Like, I want to see Dustin. I just want to see him go.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to see him hit the curtain and know that it's like, this is something that would have made his dad really proud, which is pretty special.
We've got the Young Bucks against Lucha Brothers.
That'll be good. That should be
pretty good.
Have we seen that match before? I feel like we've seen that.
Did they not? Because it's for the AAA World Tag Team Championship.
Yeah.
Did they
I feel
win?
Like they could do more with the Young Bucks in this.
Take that from them in AAA.
Yeah, they did actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where we'll
I think they did. I know they did pick
maybe.
it up fairly recently for the purposes of the show. They should have got the revival, man. They should have just got Name Your Price, because that would have been a big headliner.
Kip Sabian against Sammy Guevara. That should be pretty good. That's going to be a pre-show match, I think.
It'll still be a great match. Still be a great match.
Then the SoCal Uncensored against Strong Hearts, which is Seema, T-Hawk, and El Lindemann. A 6-man tag match, and maybe they'll do something with like a 6-man division or a 6-person tag team division.
There's definitely scope for it. There's a lot of 6-man teams, especially if you're looking around like Japan and a lot of the indie scenes. There's a lot of like 6-man teams, so it would make sense to do it. It would make a lot of sense.
I think there's going to be more on there as well. I think there'll be something else because we're maybe announced maybe on the night or something. Maybe I'm not sure. But
is that all the matches they've got announced? So far?
There's also. Best Friends, or Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta against Angelico and Jack Evans.
Chuck Taylor, Chucky T put out a post about make Trent's picture smaller and make mine's bigger. Like, just brilliant. He's like, I'm the real star in all of this. No, that'll be really good. Like, they do say like Chucky T's probably one of the biggest guys who was approached by WWE but had zero interest in it.
Right, okay.
Like, just no interest in it.
There's another maybe 4 people to be announced for the Battle Royal as well. Obviously Ty Dillinger's now in there.
Do you know any other names in the Battle Royal?
Yeah. So Sonny Kiss is in there. Brandon Cutler, Ace Romero, Glacier is in there. Brian
is PCO on the card at all? He's Ring of Honor, isn't he? But I don't think they're working with Ring of Honor.
Don't think so.
No, okay.
Brian Pillman Jr.
Yeah, cool.
Sunny Days, MJF, Joey Janela is in there.
Oh, the bad boy.
Billy Gunn is going to be in there.
Oh, mate, what a lad.
Of course.
They're not piss testing then.
Jimmy Havoc as well will be there.
Brilliant. Mate, they should replace
Jungle Boy as well. Jungle
Boy's awesome.
He was in the over the budget battle royal, wasn't he?
Yeah,
All in, I think, as well.
He's Luke Perry's son, isn't he? From 90210.
Is he?
Yeah, because he died recently. Luke Perry.
Yeah,
he's on Jericho's podcast. Yeah,
no
he's
way.
Yeah, it's so weird. They say there's like some of the last pictures of his dad. He's like stood up in the balcony watching his son perform, which is pretty cool.
Amazing.
It's lovely, isn't it?
So then there's a few more to announce as well. But that's this Saturday. I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's just because it's something different. It's something to get excited about. That's not. I don't think I don't have any expectation going into it.
Honestly, like, it could all just be like middle of the road matches. I just want them to nail the presentation down. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's the one thing they could have done a bit better with All In. And I think it's just because of the production, it was a bit rushed.
They ran out of time, didn't they? There was a few miscommunication bits in some of the spots where they missed, like towards the last match where the match was supposed to end, and then was it Ray Phoenix broke the count? And then they were like, "We've got 30 seconds. We've got to go home now."
We're gonna go.
Yeah.
Where was All In? Chicago. So I mean, the MGM Grand's a bit of an upgrade, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It's
probably more synonymous with boxing, really.
Exactly. I want it to be filmed like boxing.
Yeah.
I want to see it like. I hope they get Michael Buffer
in.
Oh my God, yeah! Get Michael Buffer in there. Oh, is it? And it's obviously with the TNT thing, mate. It's WCW, just back in a different pack.
That's all it is.
Wicked. I'm excited about that. Excited.
No, I'm really looking forward to it. So we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah,
hopefully.
next week.
Hopefully, all 3 of us will be back together as
Definitely.
well. In the meantime, you can find us on Twitter at the Lights Pod, Staring at the Lights on Instagram.
That's the one.
You can email show@staringatthelights.com as well.
Yep.
For anything you want to get us to talk about, or
you can send all your spam to at Ethan Platts.
Ethan at staringatthelights.com.
Big sexy.
If you want to sign up for anything and use an email address, you can use it.
Absolutely. Now TV, Pass, whatever you want. He's all right with that.
That's it. We'll see you next week.
See you later.